The declaration of a state of emergency marked the beginning of a series of police exercises across the country. The heightened activity was all in a bid to quell what police described as a major criminal threat to the authorities. But while Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara has promised a swift, decisive response to any threat, former top cop Gary Griffith isn't impressed. Griffith was critical of the Commissioner's decision to divulge such sensitive information, noting that given the scale of the threat described, much more caution and discretion should have been exercised.
A covert operation means something that is clandestine, undercover, and you let the criminal elements be aware of what your intention is. So this whole thing, it is very messy. It was unacceptable. It should not have been done, and it shows some lack of knowledge and understanding the degree of confidentiality of correspondence. This should never have been sent to the public.
Griffith was also opposed to using a state of emergency as a long-term crime-fighting strategy, as he felt law enforcement, with support from the Defence Force, are enough to combat any upsurging crime. But Griffith isn't alone in questioning the rollout of the SoE, as criminologist Dr. Randy C. Prasad said such a large-scale security response may not have been necessary. Dr. C. Prasad told CNC3 News that a threat within the prison should have been dealt with at the level of the prison. Referring to concerns over the entry of cell phones to coordinate hits and other criminal activities, he said a more rigid security filter around the nation's prisons was needed.
We do know that there are cell jammers within some of the prisons, but they don't always work. And the question is why, right? We need to make those things work within the prison service.
But former Prisons Commissioner Gerard Wilson said the challenges surrounding security at the prison was complicated. Wilson, who did not oppose the introduction of the SoE, said closing gaps within prison security was easier said than done.
Once you have officers going through the gate and onto the premises, they can carry anything. So you have to isolate the dormitories, put it on the outside, so that all the officer would go to his duty with would be his regulation accoutrements.
Wilson also urged prison officers to report any incidents of trafficking and smuggling to their seniors, even if it involved their fellow officers. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.